Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Danny and this is Project Fern. The S3 went in for its MOT last week. Unfortunately it did fail on a fractured front spring. I totally missed it. It was making no noises. There was no rattling, going over bumps or anything like that, but the spring is definitely snapped. A really good spot by the MOT inspector. He said it absolutely broke his heart failing the car because it's absolutely mint, and he could see how much work I'd done on the back end and stuff like that and how it drove. So today we're going to be replacing that spring, so let's get over to the bench and see what we've got. So I've got a brand new spring from Audi. It's £150, quite expensive really, but it's a genuine part. And I've also got like a hub separator, spacer, splitter, whatever you want to call it. It'll make it 10 times easier for me to get the strut out once I split the back of it and take the bolt out, and hopefully it'll make everything just a little bit easier today. I think they're about £10 these. It's a 2-pack. There's one down there that's a little bit longer, but we're going to be using them. So first thing is, let's get this car jacked up. I've already took the centre cap off, get it jacked up, get some WD-40 penetrating fluid on some bits, and we can crack on and get this done today. I've took the wheel off. I've got everything squirted with WD-40, including the drop link up here. Can't really see with the spring, but can you hear that? It's definitely fractured and broke. So I'm just going to start stripping this down now. I'm going to start with the strut bolt. Sorry, I'm going to start with the drop link, get the strut bolt undone a little bit, and then undo it slightly on top as well, the top strut bolts, and then I'll work on splitting that collar at the back here, and hopefully we can get away with using a pry bar and not taking like the drive shaft out or the bottom arm off or anything like that, but we'll see how we get on. I'm going to try and take as little off as possible today, so let's crack on and see how we get on. I've got the drop link taken off. I've had to use this secondary jack just to lift the suspension up a bit because I've only got one side jacked up, and I've also got that nut out there as well. It was pretty seized in, but I'll give it a tap with the hammer and run it out with the gun on both sides. So now I'm going to just take this bracket off here, which is holding the ABS sensor and brake hose on, and then I'm going to turn the steering and get that collar splitter in the back and hopefully make a little room to knock this strut out. So I've just used that splitter on the back there. It's stuck in, as you can see, but it's literally just dropped perfectly. I don't know if I've got enough space now to try and work it out. I'm going to get a pry bar, but it has dropped. It's not enough to get the actual strut out, but I'm just surprised how easy that is. Usually you're banging away on here, but it literally just dropped straight away, 2 seconds. Definitely worth the £10 then. I'll put a link in the description below where you can buy them from. But I'm going to just get a pry bar now. Hopefully I can move this whole unit down a little bit more without taking anything else off and pop this strut out. It's the next day now, and you can see the car's back on the floor. The drop link came out okay like you saw, so did the strut bolt. The problem I'm having is that there's not enough clearance to drop it down and pop the strut out without taking the lower arm off or the drive shaft out. So the problem is the ball joint is seized to the lower arm, so you take the 3 studs out underneath and it's just not moving. So I thought I'll give it a bit of a bang in between and try and get something in between, but I thought I'm not going to stop there. Sorry, I'm just going to stop there and build it back up. I'm going to get some more tools. I didn't have a 12-sided 24mm socket for the axle bolt, so I've had to go and get one of them. I've also got a ball joint splitter, which is actually pointless because I didn't realise the opening on this is only 13mm when the ball joint opening on these is 19mm. So I've got one of these just in case I end up damaging something today. 30 quid spent. Really annoyed me this, because on a Ford or anything like that, you don't even have to take anything out. Strut bolt, drop link, take the top strut bolts out, and you've got enough leverage. You can put some pressure on and you can pop it out no problem. But S3 is pain in the arse. But I'm going to crack on today anyway. I'm just going to slacken this bolt off, hopefully in the middle, pretty easy, the axle drive shaft bolt. And then I'm going to get it jacked back up. I'm going to get some crack it spray back on that lower ball joint. Now I've got a new one. I'm not bothered about damaging it. I'm going to try and free that off first. If not, I'm going to have to take the lower arm off and go from there with it. But these things happen. It needs doing. I want this car back on the road. So let's crack on today. I've had no joy whatsoever trying to get that ball joint out. I don't even want to try tackling taking the actual ball joint out, let alone smashing the lower arm to bits. So what I've done is I've just took the back bolts out on the lower arm here, which has given me the movement. I've undone the drop link again and just got it out of the way, and now I'm going to take this drive shaft out, and hopefully that'll give me the movement to pop this bloody strut out and then I can get on with my day and start driving this car again, because to be honest with you, it's getting on my absolute nerves. Like I say, the forwards, bloody hell, you can pop these struts out in 15 minutes, but I've got to get it done. No one's going to help me, so you reap what you sow. I want to do these things myself, and I have to learn from it, and hopefully I can pass the information on to you guys so it makes it a little bit more easy when you guys come to do it. I can't tell you how much of a struggle this has been. You can see where the spring's cracked there. I've had to get a little bit sketchy with a piece of wood to force the strut up so I could get it out. I've not recorded it. I wouldn't advise anyone doing it. It wasn't too dangerous. I cable tied the piece of wood to the strut and stuff so it won't fire off. But yeah, that weren't a pleasant experience. Hard work working on this Audi, I must admit. But I'm going to get this spring compressed now, get this top strut nut off, and then get it ready to put back in, and we'll check in from there. The lovely new coil spring is on, genuine part, top nut torqued up to 50 Newton meters. Now the nice bit, I can start putting all this back together. I'm going to get that spreader put back in place there, get the top nuts put in, and then get it popped back into place, and hopefully within the next 10-15 minutes the car will be back as it was when I started, but with a coil spring, and I can take it back for its MOT retest. That's everything built back up and torqued up. Top nuts, drop links back in. This is the last thing that I have to tighten up when I get it back on the floor. That's 145 Newton meters. But I'm just going to have a little bit of a clean up inside here from where all the penetrating fluid's been splattering. I'm going to give the disc a wipe down with some brake cleaner just to get any of the lubricants off it. I've just got the shield to put back on underneath. But I'm just going to zoom out now so you can actually see what carnage has been going on in here. I pretty much had every tool in the world out, but it's finally done. What a pain in the arse that was. Another good job done on the Audi. Spring's done, everything's torqued back up, cleaned up. Car does need a wash, it's been here a little bit too long now. Hopefully this will drop a little bit more as the spring settles after a bit of a drive, maybe settle overnight. I put some brand new wipers on the car as well, all round, Bosch wipers. So another job done, and I can start driving this car again. Hope you've enjoyed this quick video today. Always hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Any comments, put them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.